Hello friends, welcome back to my channel Mukesh English. Friends, in this video I'll summarize a very interesting story, The Imp and the Crust, written by the famous writer Leo Tolstoy. Let's understand the meaning of imp. Imp means small devil, the junior devil we can say. Crust means bread. So let's know the story, Imp and the Crust. So the introduction, this story, The Imp and the Crust, written by Leo Tolstoy, is a very moral story that shows how evil slowly enters human life, not through open wickedness, but through greed and misuse of blessings. It highlights the dangers of overindulgence, especially through drinking, and how it can turn good people into beasts. Let's begin the story. There is a poor, there's a very poor, honest peasant. Peasant means farmer, who is very hardworking, who always goes out early in the morning to plow his field, and he always takes a small piece of bread for breakfast. So before working, he wraps the bread in his coat and he keeps it under a bush. So he'll be working and he just hides or he just keep this bread under the bush. So after some times, when he finishes some part of the work, he stops his work and he starts eating. But one day what happens, when he looks for his bread, the crust, it is missing. He starts searching the bread everywhere, but he doesn't find it. So, but he does not get angry. Instead of getting angry, instead of blaming anyone, he assumes that somebody would have been in need and somebody would have taken it. And he wishes that it does the thief good. So he blesses the thief, okay? Let him be blessed with the bread, and he doesn't feel angry also, and he doesn't blame anyone for stealing the bread, right? So what happens, it turns out a little imp, a little devil's servant had stolen that bread. Who has stolen the bread? A little servant, a little devil servant has stolen the bread, and he was hoping that this peasant, this farmer, would curse or would call on the devil in anger. But this farmer or this peasant, he didn't do this sin. So the imp goes back and he reports his failure to the master devil. He says that he was unable to change the mindset, he was unable to change the attitude of this farmer. The devil becomes very angry. He tells the imp he must make the peasant sin within 3 years. If he fails to do it, the imp will be punished. The imp is scared. He goes back to the earth and he starts thinking of new plan. He thinks that what to do, what should he do, which makes the peasant, the farmer, to do some sort of sin, right? The imp changes into a man and he requests the peasant that he is in need of work, and the peasant takes him for work. So he starts working with the farmer. But the imp has disguised him into a man and has started to work with the farmer, with this peasant. This imp advises the farmer to plant crops in a very smart way. So he says first year, he tells him to sow the seeds in a marshy area where there's more water. So why he has told to put the seed in the more water? So that he won't get more good crop. But this year what happened? There was no rainfall and it was a completely dry year. And this time his crops grow wonderfully. So again the imp has been failed in his plan. Next year, the imp says the farmer to plant on hill. He says it rains a lot again, so better you should plant on the hill. The peasant succeeds, and this time again he has got more grain, which is more than his need. So again, second year, the imp has got failed. Now the imp has only 1 year left out because he has been given a target that within 3 years he should make the farmer to commit some sin. Now the imp tells the peasant to make the alcohol from the extra grain, because there was a huge crop, a good crop. So the peasant is left with some more extra crop, extra grain. And here the imp suggests the farmer to make the alcohol from the left out grain. The peasant does this and he starts drinking alcohol, and he starts sharing the alcohol with the others also. And slowly, gradually, the farmer, the peasant becomes addicted to the alcohol as well as his guest. Okay. The imp proudly tells the devil to come and see how the peasant has changed. So the imp invites devil, saying that, look, within 3 years I made this person change his behavior and he has become a drunkard. He has started drinking alcohol. So when the devil arrives, he sees a party where the peasant is drinking with rich neighbors. His wife spills a drink, and the peasant, who once upon a time who was very kind and very generous, and now he starts scolding his wife harshly. The devil is observing his behavior. Then one poor guest arrives, and this poor guest is not offered a drink. This shows how the person who once upon a time who was very kind-hearted person has now become very selfish and very rude person. So now the imp explains to the devil how people behave after drinking. So he gives here three important phases. First, after the first glass, they become clever like foxes and they try to trick with each other. After the second glass, they become angry like wolves, and they start fighting and shouting. And after the third glass, they turn into swine, into pigs, and completely drunk, filthy, and without shame. The peasant himself falls into a puddle of water and he starts behaving like a pig after getting after getting alcohol, after getting addicted to the alcohol. So this is how the imp has changed the kind-hearted person into this kind of behavioral person. So now the devil starts praising the imp for his success. He thinks the devil thinks the imp would have added fox, wolf, and swine's blood to the drink, but the imp says no. It was not the drink, it was the extra grain that has caused the change. It's not the drink, it is the extra grain which has brought a change in the behavior of this kind hearted farmer. What's the moral of the story? The imp explains that when people have only what they need, they remain kind and human. But when they have more than enough, they start using it for selfish pleasure. So the evil, the animal nature inside them starts coming out. So this is how the imp explains. So what's the ending of the story here? What's the climax of the story? The devil is very pleased, and he promotes the imp to a high position because he succeeded in turning a good man into a beast, not by force, but by tempting him with the abundance and the misuse. So let's conclude the story. So the Leo Tolstoy, the author of this story, The Imp and the Crust, he warns us that he gives a warning. What kind of warning? He says greed, selfish pleasure, and the misuse of blessings can turn a good person into a beast. The evil within us only shows when we forget moderation and humility. In this story, alcohol represents how people can lose their humanity when they seek pleasure beyond what they need. True strength lies in self control, gratitude, and using God's gifts very wisely. So, this is how I have tried my best to summarize the famous story by Leo Tolstoy, The Imp and the Crust, which is in the syllabus of second semester BSc under Bangalore City University BCU. So hope you have liked this video. Click on the like button, write in the comment box, Subscribe the channel for more videos. Just have a look into the description box of the playlist for all the other videos links. Thank you once again.